For our Wealth Wednesday, we're discussing something we talk about often here, retirement, and how to make the best of saving your money. The thing is, there are so many suggestions or recommendations. Do this, don't do that. The trouble is, what's truth and what's not?
We're joined by certified financial planner Will Rogers to dispel some common retirement myths.
Hey, good to see you.
No, good to be here. Good to be back in town. And yeah, people have all these dreams and imaginations about retirement. And when I told my best friend when he's getting ready to retire, and he was like, "Well, what's it going to be?" And what am I spending and all this? I'm like, you're not going to really know until a year after you retire. And he was so anxious about that, but it's just, there's all these things that people imagine, and it's just not the case.
Well, let's get right into it here. What are some of these myths that we want to debunk or dispel?
So there's a whole bunch of them, and you might be thinking that Medicare is going to cover all my health care costs, that you can just start taking money at a regular rate and not worry about it. Some folks are scared that Social Security is not going to last. They're going to think they can work as long as they want to. A lot of folks are going to be spending less and paying less taxes. And a biggie is that they're going to live in their dream home for forever and stay in the same place.
How dare you dash my dreams like that?
Well, what is a withdrawal rate and how does it relate?
So a withdrawal rate is how quickly you're taking money out of your portfolio. And if you start at 4% or less, generally that's going to last you 30 years, but there's a lot of factors that influence that. Your current finances, future income, maybe Social Security is going to start at a later date for you. Maybe you've got some withdrawals for that dream house or dream vacations. So you need to adjust that spending plan. It's kind of like when you're driving, you can't set the cruise control on a trip across America and not adjust that speed. You really need to adjust the speed as you're going along.
Nice analogy on this. You mentioned Medicare. Let's talk about the costs that it will and will not cover.
So Medicare is a phenomenal health insurance program, covers a lot of the things, but it doesn't cover your doctor's visits. You need to get a medical supplement. You've got your deductibles. Usually you need to plan on spending at least $500 a month for extra health insurance costs. On top of that, if you need glasses or hearing aids, vision and hearing's not covered. Neither is nursing home or long-term care. These are big expenses that you need to budget and plan for.
I think that's a big one that a lot of people get smacked right in the face with.
Yes.
And
yes.
How long will Social Security last?
So there's all these reports about how Social Security is going to collapse. And if you're getting benefits right now, I don't believe your benefits are going to change. If you haven't started receiving benefits, I think there will be some changes. But if Congress does nothing, over 75% of the benefits could still be paid if they do nothing. So it's not like it's going to be, oh, wait a minute, I don't get any check. They should be making some changes, so it'd be healthy for folks to expect some changes, have some flexibility in your retirement budget.
You mentioned also working and how long people can work. How long can people work on this?
And this is one where I am a very strong advocate of working into your 70s if you can. A lot of times, though, these are not the dream jobs folks have. People have had to cut their work lives much shorter than planned due to health reasons, company downsizing, just the skills change. Look at what's bringing in with AI and how that's going to be impacting a lot of professional workers saying, oh, I can do this forever. Oh, I can't.
That job is gone.
Right.
And do people really spend less?
I've rarely seen the spending less when folks retire. You're used to a certain standard of living, a certain amount of cash flow, and if you're spending that money on dinner, if you're spending it on grandchildren, if you're spending it on travel, I just don't see that spending really make that big change. And taxes are not lower either. If your income's still coming the same, likely your tax bracket is going to be very similar. It might even be higher because you won't have a lot of the tax breaks of being able to put money into a 401k, children or dependents. You may be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, or certainly the same one you were in.
We got about 30 seconds left here, but we're talking about your forever home. You might live there right now. You think you're going to live there forever. Not the case.
I've had a few clients in 30 years stay in their quote forever home, but that's the exception. The vast majority of folks have something that caused them to move, often it's following family around. Sometimes it's health concerns where they've got stairs in the house that they can't handle the stairs anymore. But it's the combination of those two things that they'll end up moving. And a big myth is, I'm going to downsize into a less expensive home. I've seen a lot of folks move into smaller homes, but they've never been less expensive. Right. They'll have better finishings, better neighborhood. I've never seen the downsize to a less expensive home just to a smaller home.
There's a lot of stuff to take into play there for you, especially if you're looking at these myths here.
Yep.
All the information right there for Will. You can check him out at wrogers.info or the phone number right there, too. Good to see you, Will. Thanks for coming back.
Always happy to share our wisdom on wealth.
Where's my Disney ears?